On this week's episode, we are back to answer your CrossFit questions. Cue intro. We don't yet have an intro, but there eventually will be an intro.
Go right there.
That's where it's going to go, and maybe like a song, and then it would fade out. Okay, but welcome to the CFL podcast, and we are back with episode number 5 to answer your CrossFit questions. That's a tongue twister. Try to say that 5 times fast. I dare you.
CrossFit questions, CrossFit questions, CrossFit questions.
Okay. All right. It's harder for some, I guess, than it is for others. Okay, so I'm back with the one and only Grace Elliott here, the lovely, back by popular demand, to answer you guys' questions. What is happening?
Cheering.
Okay, a cheer. Okay.
A cheer.
All right. Super excited. You guys reached out big time and left a bunch of questions for us through Instagram, here in the gym, text. It was cool. It was awesome. So today we're here and we're back to go back over those and answer them. You ready to kick it off?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you questions. You give us your answer. Let's start.
You ask, I answer. That's going to be in the next one. All right, go ahead.
Cool. Let's start with our friend Stephanie Cohen asked, why don't we have a PR bell in the gym?
Stephanie, thank you for calling in. Great question. So why don't we have a PR bell? We actually, the gym we purchased, used to have a PR bell that hung. It collected a lot of dust. So it just got, sorry. That was out like an undertone, like, back in the okay. So basically, I just haven't put them up, and I don't really have a reason to find why. If I had to peg a reason, I would say it takes a while before you're on the list of PRs where we ding it. I guess we put the focus on the movement at first, but
so people PR often until they become something that's hard to break.
I guess, but they should all be celebrated. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, great question, and maybe we should get one.
I mentioned that if you are at the 6:30 class, Joe Icono actually is his own bell with his mouth. He cheers for everyone, though.
He does. He's the hugest supporter. So if you want a loud applause, 6:30 class is where it's going to be at, where Joe people. But yeah, I guess I could look into getting one.
Okay.
Good deal. All right.
Next one is we have the CrossFit Open coming up.
Yes.
If you don't know. And
if you live under a rock.
A request for a public playlist has been put up. So I guess the question
that was also Stephanie's question, I think. Can we contribute to a public playlist? Sorry, I don't think I told you. So, Stephanie, again, your question with the public playlist.
Thank you for calling in, Stephanie.
If it wasn't your question, then whatever. But good point. Okay, so for all 2 to 3 people that are watching us that don't know what the CrossFit Open is, the CrossFit Open is a 5-week-long competition. I do not come up with the workouts. CrossFit HQ does. Dave Castro announces them on Thursday night at 5, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Thursday night at 5. That's when we find out what the workout is. The following day on Friday, we will be doing the workout here in the gym. So if you're signed up, you'll get paired up with the judge. You'll go through the workout. We'll make it official. We'll go over the standards. And then we like to have our Friday night lights on Fridays. Okay, so that's what the Open is, 5-week-long online competition. Here at CFL, we make it fun every Friday night. We turn up the music, we get everybody together, we bring the energy, and we go through the Open. And this year, now, and it's going to become official, Rick, so if you're listening to this, you can't back out of it. So Rick has... DJ. Oh, nice, that's good. Rick has volunteered to come on Friday nights and DJ for us. Yeah. So, to answer this question, yes, he will be taking requests. I almost said recommendations. Requests. It'll be TRL, Total Request Live, here on Fridays.
TRR, Total Request Rick.
Yeah, so he'll be DJing for us, so we will have a public playlist. So to answer that question, yes, you will be able to decide, and so will everybody else, as long as it's family friendly, somewhat.
We can edit it.
We can, just don't make it ridiculous. Okay. Next question.
All right, I like those.
Good. Shooting from the hip.
Okay, so we've been, I guess we introduced at this gym our first clinic. It was the rope climb clinic. People seem to like that, and there seems to be a good response. People want to know if we will have a gymnastics clinic or possibly a weightlifting clinic. I know specifically Kendall Kitts and Chris Watts had asked...
Last name drop.
On on Instagram if we could get a butterfly pull-up clinic.
Yes, I've heard you guys. The Butterfly Pull-Up Clinic has been in demand for some time, and I'm going to deliver on that for you guys. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but it'll either be this coming Saturday or the following one, assuming everything lines up. We'll also probably try to make it a little bit earlier on the Saturday. The 11 o'clock time seemed a little late, so things will come out soon with that, so stay tuned. Follow attention to the Instagram. Maybe we'll do a poll on what time it should start. Yeah, a poll would work. Okay, so yes, we'll have the clinics. This is hoping something I could continue with. They'll be free and open to the public. So bring your friends in, bring whoever wants to learn. We will do a snatch and clean and jerk one. It sounds like the next one we're going to do is butterfly pull-ups. Also heard the demand for double unders. We will have the one for double unders as well. And basically what it is I break down, we spend an hour and 15 just going over one movement and really spending time going deep into that movement and learning everything there is and spending a lot of time practicing. So look out for the details on that. Butterfly pull-up one coming next.
Okay. Pete Keller asked us how to recover better for the 70-plus age group.
Yeah, shout out to Pete Keller, the oldest member of CFL. I'm not sure exactly, mid-70s I want to say, and he's amazing. He does a great job. He shows up every Monday and Wednesday, 8 a.m. class. So Pete, how do you recover better? Well, basically, you just got to continue to listen to your body. Always scale back. Remember that the most important thing for us to do is live and move in a full range of motion and work out the heart. And that's a pretty easy muscle to work out. It's dumb. It doesn't take much to get it going and to start pumping. So as far as recovering, always taking things a little bit lighter, resting a little bit more when you need to, and maybe just hanging out on the assault bike for a half hour might be the protocol. But listen to your body, pay attention to things that come up, and always err on the side of lighter and caution when working out.
Okay, so that brings me to kind of our next question. What is active recovery?
Piggyback question.
Piggyback.
Okay, active recovery is when you're recovering, we're not lifting any weight, we're not putting any extreme amount of stress on the body like we do in our Metcons and stuff, and it's when we're just getting a sweat. So my favorite active recovery is the assault bike, 30 to 45 minutes, just at a nice, easy, moderate pace. You could talk with a friend while kind of going through it. The reason why I like that so much is because it moves the blood around. It helps us flush all the toxins and everything in our muscles, the lactic that builds up that makes us sore, but it also doesn't put any further stress on the ligaments or the joints. You could also jog. That puts a little more stress on the joints. Rowing is a good supplement as well, but I like the bike because we sit upright, so it also takes the hinge out of the low back, makes for a good recovery.
Are our bikes available for all the members to use?
Yes.
Not all of them knew that during the challenge, I guess, is the question.
Oh, okay, yeah. So for people doing the challenge, there's two things that come with this. If you need a score with it, then we're just going to go to the 4 that do the score, right? The 3 assault bikes and the 1 Schwinn? Or you not?
No. People just didn't know if all that equipment was something they could use, because not everyone has always asked.
Yeah, okay. So if you're new to the assault bike, pull it out and go ahead and use it. Just stay off to the side to not disrupt a class, and you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Ask a coach if you need help adjusting the seat or how that goes. But other than that, hop on and have some fun.
Okay. So this one comes from Scott Bukowski, and it asks, Matt, why is your strict press so low, but yet your snatch is so high?
Well, Scott, thanks for calling in with your question. Low is relevant. High is relevant. Numbers are relevant to people. No. All right, so it is a legitimate question. For those of you guys that don't know, strict press is one of my weaker lifts. It took me a long time to move the number. We won't talk about
said number.
The number.
But his snatch is pretty high.
But the snatch, my snatch relevant to my strict press is like almost 100-pound difference.
Like almost double.
It's... Gosh, okay, yeah, so the strict press is low. My best ever is like 145, 150. My best snatch ever is 225. So not 100 pounds over, but close enough. And the reason why is because strict press is absolute strength. I'm just using my shoulders. With snatch, I'm using a lot of different things. Flexibility, speed under the bar, being able to use my hips to generate most of that power. And then by the time my shoulders received it, it's locked out, so the structure could support it easier. So that's why strict press is more absolute strength, as opposed to snatch has a lot of complex movement to it. So even somebody with a relatively low absolute shoulder press number could still have a relatively high snatch number.
Okay.
Yeah, legitimate question.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
This is from Steve Lopez. How often and how often should I be resting, and how much rest should I incorporate into my week?
Awesome. Thanks for your question, Steve. You specifically should probably be resting a little bit more. No, I'm just kidding. That's a great, that's a great question. Again, we go back to what I was talking with Pete. It's knowing and listening to your body. CrossFit's protocol is 3 days of working out with 1 day of rest. We tend to lose intensity after that third day, meaning we're not as able to push as hard as we were the previous two. As we know, it's all about intensity, so we need to preserve that. And how we do that is either by resting, complete rest, or again, going back to the active recovery on the bike, just kind of getting a little sweat, but staying low as far as stressing the muscles, joints, and ligaments. How I build the schedule here at CFL is actually pretty congruent to the 3 day on, 1 day off. We have a lot of people that like to work out 6-7 days a week here, which is awesome, except for one of those days is recovery. So, and that's the why I set that up. So we go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is our intensity. Thursday is more of our long, like, cardio days, for lack of better terms, just to make it simple. But we usually work out between 20 and 40 minutes with just getting a sweat. And that's a forced active recovery. Except for some of you guys go really hard. Therefore, it doesn't make it active recovery anymore.
There's not usually too much weight, if any weight at all, on Thursdays.
Yeah, I keep the weight low. It's also usually like an on-the-minute rotate or something like that. It's body weight, so that way we could still move the muscles around and still get a sweat, but we don't stress it out too much. And then we keep us moving for a half hour, so we're always going a little bit longer during that duration, which, as we know, it's important. Long, medium, short, we want to train all those ranges.
So this one is crazy, but it looks like Anonymous asked if we could get
Anonymous
a gym dog, possibly like a golden retriever puppy soon, here for the gym, specifically for the members.
All right, so to address Anonymous's question, for some of you guys that don't know, Grace has been wanting a dog for quite some time.
So whoever asked this is just right up my alley. You're saying.
Yeah, and unfortunately, no, we're not going to have a gym dog that's going to live. She's legitimately upset now, though. That's the funny part. Legitimately. So the dog can't necessarily live at the gym. Plus, we can't have a dog right now. You know,
I think it would make everyone much happier if the dog was here to greet them.
Jeez. Now everybody's going to be going around saying, when are you going to get Grace her dog? Oh, boy. Once I'm better at editing and I have the intro, this stuff will be cut out, and then no one will ever know. Until then, yeah.
Let's see.
Stay tuned for the gym dog.
2 left here.
2 left. Wait, hold on. Can I wrap up Steve's question? I felt like that was...
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so to finish that off, sorry, sidetrack, but yeah, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is intensity. Thursday is our active recovery if we treat it that way when we're in the gym. Friday and Saturday ramp back up. Sunday is complete rest. So normally if you follow that schedule, you go lighter and do something called scaling, where we tailor back the weight when our bodies need it. You should stay completely fine. If not, start adding another complete rest day into there, where you're out of the gym, maybe get a hike in or something and walk around the block. But other than that, listen to your body. Okay, back. Can we have a gym dog? Not right now. Maybe soon.
Maybe soon.
On to the next question.
Okay. Angie wants to know, how do you determine the weight for the workouts?
Yes. Okay, I remember this question. Angie, thanks for your question. Thanks for Skyping in. Just kidding. Maybe we'll have Skype in call-ins for real one time. It'd be embarrassing if nobody called. Just like an hour of us waiting. Okay, so Angie's question about the weights. How do I determine the weight? Okay, so when I'm programming the workout, I'm using kind of this avatar person where if, you know, they're maybe the 5th best person or the 6th best person in the gym, meaning they're well-rounded, they could do most of the movements, and I program forward that avatared person, and then everybody else from their scale. So when I'm determining the stimulus of the workout, if I want it to be slower and more weightlifting-esque, I will raise the weight for my avatars maxes, and then everybody from their scales, right? So I don't use the highest end, like let's say like Jess's stuff for weights or times, because then like nobody would do it, right? Nobody could complete what she had. And at the same time, we don't want to use the lowest, because then everybody else will kind of blow through it quicker or won't capture the same intensity. So usually we come down to about 5th person. And then from there, I plug it in. So if I want you to move fast with a moderate weight, where I know you're going to have to break it up 3 to 4 times in a set, we go with that avatar's moderate weight, which is usually like 95 for male, 65 for female, 135 for male, and 95 for female.
So it kind of shows you between those, if you're not someone that usually RXs it shows you if you're supposed to be going towards your heavier end or for your lighter end, right? If you're like 95 or 65 for female.
That's it. That's a great point. Yeah, so if you look at that weight, and you see, okay, this weight looks really heavy for me, or just heavy in general, you know that should be heavy relevant for you, which may be significantly less than is shown on the computer. I talk about this all the time. When you guys come in too, and you like look at the workout, like don't necessarily look at those weights and treat them as those are the weights like that I should be doing, because it's your personal workout when you look at it on the board, and you need to find out what weights should be for your specific workout, not what is just listed on there. So I actually wrote an article about this. It says don't go after the prescribed weight, go after the prescribed stimulus. So that's in the blog. If I find out how to link it, maybe we'll link it below in the description with this video on YouTube. Yeah, and that's what needs to be focused on. It's what is the stimulus of the workout, and then what weight applies to me.
Okay.
With my current situation.
I have one last one here.
Sure.
It's from our friend Chris Watts.
Anonymous, no.
The more anonymous. Why do we get our heart rate up during the warm-up?
Okay, great question. Yeah, Adam, I forget what class it was, but yeah, Chris came in and I was like, all right, pump it up. And this is something we've been doing, like row for 1 minute. And then after that minute, 30 seconds of a hard effort. And the reason why is we want to prime our bodies for exercise. So in order to do that, we could raise the heart rate up, spike it real quick in a controlled manner, like on a bike or on a rower, where we're not going to blow a hammy sprinting or anything like that. And then what happens is once our heart gets pumping, that initial thing sends a response to the body. It's saying, hey, we're priming ourselves for work. The blood vessels open so oxygen can move more freely to the muscles, and it starts to turn on that central nervous system so we could react a little bit quicker, kind of dusts the cobwebs off and gets us ready to work. Well, if we do it right, we spike the heart rate, it kind of feels like, oh my gosh, this sucks, like, oh, I shouldn't have come today, and then it settles out when we stretch and we do our mobility. And then by the time we're getting ready for that workout again and we go through that general warm-up, your body's ready, we're primed, we're able to either lift heavy or hit the workout.
Awesome.
Is that it?
Those are all the questions I have this week.
Fantastic. That was great. Okay, so keep asking your questions. What?
Didn't we want to talk about the challenge?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I almost wrapped it up, but Grace wants to just talk a couple of things about the nutrition challenge, which has been going super well.
Super well. We just ended the first week of it.
It's just only the first week. I want to see that.
First week.
I want to see that enthusiasm come week 7, people.
Jess and I wanted to mention a couple of people that went kind of above and beyond this week. That would be Andrew Cornell and Brett Ward.
Nice. Wait, hold on. Before we get into this, is this going to be the weekly shout out to the nutrition things? We're going to make this a weekly thing?
That just happened.
All right, so this is the weekly honorable mention. Yes. People, part of the show. Bum, 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 another intro, right? Okay, so for the people doing the challenge, we're going to give special shout-outs. Grace is going to give them out here. And we kicked it off with Andrew and Brett Ward. Okay, sorry. Yeah. We just shoot at this live, by the way. We don't edit, so that's why this gets a little choppy. Okay,
no, I think that's a great idea. They both went above and beyond, so they're going to be getting extra points this week because we know it's a points-based challenge this time. Both of them went way out of their comfort zones. They were both traveling this week. Brett happened to be in Vegas, worked out for a half hour on the treadmill before 8 a.m. Brett.
Impressed.
That's big time. And then Andrew also has completely changed his habits. He was in Texas for work this week and was doing all the challenges on the treadmill, found out ways to work out, was doing workouts in the hotel without any equipment, chose to walk to work instead of taking his car, like a bunch of different things he was doing. And I just think they're making really big changes, and that should be...
Wait, hold on. You mean if you travel and do something slightly out of routine, I could still stay on track?
It's so weird.
I don't believe it. I don't think that's possible.
And then another kind of like, not weekly honorable mention, but this morning we had our first track workout. And
the mile test.
It was the mile test. And so that's for sure taking people out of their comfort level. I mean, CrossFit's uncomfortable enough being intimidated coming in here, but we asked everyone to join us on the track at Livermore High. just wanted to mention 3 people. Actually, Kayla Bush, who...
Kayla Bush.
Kayla Ward. Oh my gosh, I wrote that down. Sorry, Kayla. Sorry, Brett.
Again, it's live. We can't edit it. But they're actually married.
They actually got married.
And her name's Kayla Ward.
A few years ago.
And I would have known that because I prepare for the show.
I wrote down the wrong name. Kayla went, she was trying to stay up with the boys today, and she did. She stayed, like, right with that whole front pack, and she ran a sub 7-minute mile just out of the blue this morning, and I think that was great.
I still think it's funny you called her Bush and then, like, scribbled it out.
I literally just crossed out the last name now. Sorry, kid.
All right, keep going,
And then 2 other people. One that you might know pretty well, Terry.
Never heard of her.
It's Matt's aunt.
It's my aunt. Yeah.
It's Matt's aunt.
Shout out Aunt Terry. Heard that you ran the whole thing without stopping. That's
An entire
awesome.
mile.
Especially because we recently just got on you about not running and always taking the row or the scale. And I'm super glad you ran the whole thing and completed the mile without stopping. That's awesome.
She didn't even have people.
Good things to come.
She did have people running with her on the last 100 meter. The teams were awesome getting with the people that hadn't finished yet and running with them across the finish line, kind of like pushing them. But Terry did that all on her own today, and it was a sub 12-minute mile, and that was really big for Terry, and I just wanted to mention that. Finally, we had our last person that I'm going to say, Karina. She's Debbie Bishop's, now Debbie Bishop's.
Oh, didn't make the same mistake twice.
Sister, and she's actually the only person from our challenge that's not from this gym.
Not anymore. Now she's part of the gym.
Yeah, but she's been putting herself out. She came to the gym, I think, multiple times this week. She did a couple double workouts. But today on the track, she was, Tim was running with her for a while, but she really pushed herself. And that's really hard to get out of your comfort zone when you're not even around people you know. So, just wanted to
She's been doing great in the
morning.
classes, too. Super paying attention and making sure she's getting everything right. So, no doubt there'll be much success for everybody else in the future.
So those
too.
last ones were just shout-outs, but Brett and Andrew will be receiving extra points for being the MVP of the week.
Dang, good job, guys. All right, so that wraps up this episode number 5 of CrossFit Questions, which I think this is just kind of where the show is going at this point.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Let it flow.
I'm not going to put a label on it.
Maybe
all right.
there'll be a dog here next time.
There won't be a dog here next time. All right, so that's it. Keep writing in. Comment below on the comment section of YouTube. Reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook. We don't really do the Twitter thing, but we have one. Ask your questions to the class as well as text me. And that's it. We're out of here.